There's a funny story quickly. You've got a $70,000 camera, you got a film crew and a 10-foot ladder, you've got one of the world's best director of photographies right on the beach, and 20 yards off, a whale swims by, okay? We don't have the whale shot in the film, okay? We do not have it. I'm sitting behind the director of photography talking to Joelle. She's saying, don't you think you ought to tell him to take the shot? I say, if I have to tell the DP with a $70,000 camera, not that he should take that, no. No. But the truth is, of course, that the camera was being put together. With the dolphin, it was a bonus shot, B-roll. Again, how do you not put that in there? To me, it was very evocative, very emotional, very singular, single animals. We had a lot of those, thank you. In the back.
What made you consciously choose that location as a director reading the script? What made you choose that? It was a beautiful location. I mean, you couldn't get, hands off to the director of photography, but you really couldn't get a bad shot.
Thank you for that, sir. I wrote this with the intention of selling my truck, going up there on weekends, and shooting this with a handheld by myself, and I'm not kidding. It was the location I had first. I knew that location had a story in it. I knew that location had a film in it. I wish I had it was in the family, to be honest. But I mean, yes, I could see that there was a story there to be had, and the fact that we could shoot there was another miracle Rick Sawyer provided to us.
My name is Dan Robert. So I was just curious, you mentioned a little bit of this style of the dialogue being highly theatrical, and I'm curious what was your inspiration, where did you draw from, and how did you feel about making that risk? Because I've never heard the characters in the film speak this way, at least not in the last decade.
I had no idea. I don't write like that. I don't know that I think like that, but it came out, I hate to say that, it really did. It sort of came out. I mean, to me, every one of those words is exactly perfect to me, you know what I mean? And so it wasn't, I don't want to slap myself on it, it wasn't a mistake, it wasn't an accident, and yet I don't know either. The film, the story has sort of propelled itself from every step. I don't know. All I know is that I would write it down. I'm sitting at a coffee shop. I would get up and I'd walk away and I'd feel proud that the words were there. And that's all I knew, is that I felt proud of the words.
I just wanted to thank you because it's such a great opportunity to watch something that's character-driven and dialogue-driven, which is very refined nowadays. But I wanted to know what inspired you to not name the characters, because when the film was beginning, I was waiting and waiting for the names. I wanted other names, so I just was curious about that.
The snarky answer that's not true but there's some truth, is because there's always names, and there's almost zero information of any kind here. The real answer, though, is that to me this is a conversation between man and woman, genders, and I'm not saying it's the only conversation that could take place between the genders, but it's a conversation. It's an exploration very much. Joelle's hand is held out so often in the film and not taken. And that's been my experience too often with beautiful relationships in my life, that I've not been able to hold on to them. So it was an exploration on why that was within my own life. Is there value in a friendship that doesn't go beyond that? Because there's also so much pain in there. So it was an exploration. I hope I answered the question. I might have got lost, but please.
Yeah, I was going to ask, people that mentioned a lot about the dialogue. I was going to mention about the other parts, basically the visual, and maybe the build-up of the tension towards the final scene. So maybe if you guys want to speak about that from the acting perspective and from the directing and the writing of sort of building that, tension between the characters. You guys mentioned before you need to be around a lot, obviously, to really know each other to do that. But
I think, again, I just go back to the script. I mean, there's nothing, I don't enter a scene going, I'm gonna build tension. Do you know what I'm saying? We just look at the scene and what was happening that day, and then a lot of the tension is built in the editing room, a lot of the tension is built in the way he shot it, in not choosing to have background music at times, just letting the wind be the soundtrack there, and just dropping out words. So I mean, we all know where the story's going, you know. I mean, when I read the script, once we got to acting it, it's like, I know where this is going. And the beautiful thing of opening the film with the final shot, well, then that colors every conversation subconsciously, if not on a conscious level at all times. So that does for us as well. You know. Anything to add to that?
Sometimes Todd just makes you tense. No, but I mean, what Todd said, you just keep going back to the script, and it was a very well planned map. So.
Please.
Wait, can we also ask Aaron, he's off the hook over here, we need to get him involved too. We want to know what sort of input did you have with the film, with the screenplay, with editing? What was your input?
I didn't have any. I just...
Just said whatever you want, Jim?
Yeah, Jim wrote a beautiful first script that is not this film, that the family read, and you know, out of the blue, Jim hadn't written any scripts that we had known about, and I think he got it to my parents first, and it blew our minds. I mean, it is a beautiful script, but it was a little bit big in terms of for a student filmmaker, I think that, I don't know whose suggestion it was, but we talked, and I remember something about making a 2-character play in one spot would be a good idea, because that could be affordable and it could be manageable, and it would be a good intro and a good calling card. And this, I think, is a result of that, right? And so Jim still has a really good script in the bag and has tremendous talent. So all I did, my contribution was just to write a check. After that, I did absolutely nothing. And the reason why I did that was because, you know, I do my own thing. You know, I'm an actor, so I didn't want you guys to see this film and say that I had, you know, Jim relied on me absolutely no at all. He did not lean on me at all. So this is all Jim, and I think that it makes it all the better for that, you know.
First of all, it was a beautiful film. It was really inspiring. I just have a couple quick questions. First of all, I think you mentioned this a little bit, but did you write most of the script at that location? And also, two little small questions. Are you working on any other scripts after this? And Aaron, that was a well-spent check. Yeah, I was wondering if you were possibly, gonna maybe direct a film in the future, possibly. Aaron.
Me?
Yeah. Oh, it was,
yeah, Jim and I actually are working on scripts together. I'd like to make movies, you know, and I think, you know, look, and this is to the student filmmakers and anybody who wants to make a film out there. There's absolutely no reason that Jim has just given you no excuse to not make a film. This is the proof that anybody can do it. Now, that you might not do it as well as Jim, but you know, they prove that you can do it. And so, in today's climate in the movie business, this is how you're going to make your calling card. So, I would like to direct commercials and you know, maybe music videos or something. I don't know.
To be fair, Rick Sawyer also put in some money, so we had a couple different sources, but largely it certainly was Aaron, in fact. And he did. To stay away from something is very difficult, because I guarantee you he has ideas and possibilities, as would anybody, as did the directors and everybody in the film. And to step back and to sort of accept that maybe let's give one sort of possible chance, sort of a life, is a big choice to make.
Hi, I'm Joelle. I'm an acting student from Emerson College, and I had a question in particular about the characters. They talk a lot about their devotion to each other and their commitment to each other. And so, considering the way that it ends, the last choice that they make together, what is it ultimately for you that they're not able to do for each other in spite of their love and devotion? And also, what stood out to me is that the male characters said that I'll never let you go. So in what light does he see this kind of mercy killing if it's not letting her go?
Joe. Well, it's her decision to end her own life. And from what I gather from the script, and I only look out of these two eyes, she asked him to be there in her final moment so that she could leave the world on her terms, completely surrounded by the person that she wanted to be with. So it was merciful to herself. And he was there, and he even says it in the mountain lion scene. He's like, look, I don't have to agree with you to support you doing it. And so he goes with her to support her and to be with her, and to never let someone go. That's an inside the heart thing. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, he will carry her with him now as he goes forth into his life from this point on, viewing the world differently from this experience. Because, you know, my wife and I have talked a lot about, like, what a huge thing to ask of somebody. Watch me kill myself.
She's basically trying to save him.
Absolutely, Joe.
Yeah, that was her main goal into doing it this way instead of waiting for the natural outcome, and also for me to wrap my brain around this choice for this character and to do this part because of personal reasons. I had to make it the only choice that she had. It was her fulfilling thing in life was to end this way with this person, and for health reasons, she was there anyways. So,
Have they ever made love? Did they ever make physical love?
have they ever made physical love? This is a big question.
Because I didn't quite know.
Well, it's interesting because we have this conversation often on set. And the thing that Jim said that made the most sense is, if the audience thinks we did, we failed. If the audience thinks we didn't, we failed. If they think that this film is about sex, we failed. So they made love.
Yes.
Now, whether that means you define that how. I mean, it's a poem, so it's up to interpretation.
Just want to thank you for being part of the Boston Film Festival and opening tonight. It's a refreshing story. It's inspirational how this all came to be. And I wanted to announce that you're receiving the Best Cinematography Award.
You hear that?